Hey, it's your morning minute as we wrap up the month of August here on 5280 Sports Network. Nate Lundy, Shawn Drotar with you. A couple of things to hit on here with the morning minute. One on the Nuggets in just a moment, but first, Shawn, the two big stories out of yesterday out at Dove Valley with the Broncos. Mark Sanchez is still on the roster as of right now when they made the cut to 75, and Britton Colquit is not. I think we all kind of know the quarterback story. Let's talk about the story of Britton Colquit no longer being on the team.
Britton Colquit took a big pay cut in the previous season, and the Broncos wanted to take a pay cut again this season, a sizable one that would have basically cut his contract in half. The Colquit camp apparently offered about $1 million off. The Broncos wanted even more than that. Basically, they're quibbling over about $700,000, and the Broncos decided to move on. Nate, I think that might be penny wise and pound foolish, because you're talking about not a tremendous amount of money, but it's not even the punting thing that bothers me. It's the holding. There's a comfort level for Brandon McManus with Britton Colquit that he hasn't gotten with Riley Dixon. We've seen that at camp. And if the Broncos say miss a game that's going to be close, the Broncos offense isn't going to put up 30 points a game here, folks. What happens if they end up missing a kick? The hold isn't good. The Broncos are going to wish they spent that extra $700,000.
It depends on how much you think a win is worth, I think is what it'll come down to. We'll see if they actually get down to those final kicks as being something that decides the game. I did think it was a little bit of an unusual move, but again, the dollars and cents in a salary cap sport have to add up, and in this case for the Broncos it didn't. Now let's switch over to the Pepsi Center. Let's talk about the Denver Nuggets, who Shawn yesterday pulled off a trade. Our buddy Chris Dempsey breaking that story that they pull off a trade to Oklahoma City. What's not only the details of the trade, because I know you were dialed in on it, but also the implications of it and kind of weird timing.
It is unusual timing. The Nuggets traded Joffrey Laverne, their backup center last year, 24-year-old center out of France. He'll be 25 when the season starts. Laverne played pretty well for the Nuggets, and they traded him to the Oklahoma City Thunder, an in-division team, for a pair of second-round picks, one of which is protected, which is a common thing with a lot of picks, but the machinations of the NBA trade world is so complicated detailed-wise, we need a morning 10 minutes to get into it. So Laverne goes to the Thunder for 2 second-round picks. Odd in the timing, you're right, it's a strange time to see it. Laverne did play well in the Olympics, maybe that caught someone's eye over at Oklahoma City, but for the Nuggets it makes a little bit of sense if they're stockpiling. They already have 15 guaranteed contracts. If Yusuf Nurkic is coming back healthy, there's not as much of a need for Laverne. Maybe these second round picks are facilitating the next trade. Otherwise, it doesn't make a ton of sense to me. Laverne may not be an impact player, but 24 years old, 6'11", certainly someone of use.
Nate Lundy, Shawn Drotar, 5280 Sports Network, our morning minute as we wrap up the month of August. Final preseason game taking place Thursday night, and then, of course, the start of the season a week later. Keep it here, all the latest news across all the teams, including Rocky Mountain Showdown. We'll be talking about that coming up with you over the course of the next couple of days. But for Shawn, I'm Nate. We'll talk to you soon.